It's been a while since I fed the furries, so I think it's time. Now, this person has a video that came before this. It is 40 minutes. You can go watch that one if you would like. I know Jake, actual Jake, did great coverage of it, so I decided to watch that on my own independently. So what I know about this person is that she is a right-wing, conservative furry, and she's, you know, she's anti-abortion, you know, I don't think she likes the transes very much, just all that good stuff, which doesn't make a lick of sense to me, because when you dress and present yourself like this, you're turning off conservatives, you know what I mean? Well, maybe not, but like they say that you're turning them off. So like you don't belong in the conservative category if you're dressing like this. You simply don't. They will turn you away, okay? If you're lucky, they'll just turn you away, if not persecute you. So if you want to get a little bit more context with who this person is, go watch actual Jake's video about it. It's like SpongeBob meme of I have a Christian conservative who's pro-life. How original. And I want to be anti-trans. Daring today, aren't we? Yeah, I know, right? Thank you very much for 10 biddies. All right, let's see what she's flipping out about. This video is called "Reacting to Furries Losing It Over Me Being a Christian Furry."
Christus Rex. That means "Hail Christ the King" in Latin. In case you didn't know. So,
Okay.
What happens when you're a furry, but you don't exactly fit into the mold? So, I recently made a video about me being a Catholic, Republican, and pro-life, and the internet had some interesting thoughts on that. The majority.
Wait, whoa.
And the internet
why was this inserted after the... Wait, if this were like an annotation, I'd get it. But what? But just go back and edit. What? Okay.
Some interesting thoughts on that. The majority was...
Dubsy will understand why that's, like, weird.
Negative backlash from my own community, when all I did was simply state what I believe. So, in this video,
yeah,
I'm
and it
reacting
sucks.
to some of the videos that were made.
All I did was state what I believe, like, you know, I mean, what did you believe then? Like, just let's talk about it. What the kinds of things did you believe that people didn't like? You know? Ooh, fuzzy ears. I do like the fursuit. I do like it. Like, I'm always very forgiving of, like, I like this part of you. You know what I mean? I don't like the conservative parts of you. It's always the progressive parts of people that are the most interesting and fun.
I guess in response,
yeah, all Hitler did was say what he believed.
Into my video,
that's all he did wrong,
like
and people
TikTok
persecuted
stitches.
him.
So one comment that I made, like in response to somebody else's comment under my video, was that my religious beliefs influence my political beliefs, and some people, for some reason, could not understand that.
Okay, that doesn't make them better.
That. I don't know. So we're gonna.
Well, that means that your religious beliefs also suck ass, and you should change them. You realize that, right?
Watch this video and see what this person said.
I'm going to respond to this in as less of a time as I can, because I really just don't care.
This video ended up being like 7 minutes long, so of course they did care. I'm gonna be...
I will hand her that. If you're making a 7-minute response video, you do care, and you should not... Like, I care about this video. I care. That's why I'm watching it.
Cutting out some
Don't say you don't care.
I was raised in a Christian church by a gay pastor. I know what a real Christian is. I have a family member that is hardcore Catholic. He does not
beef or based, by the way.
Like Trump. He loves me for who I am. Nothing to do with your fucking religion. In the real...
Why do people put the bleep and then, like, you can still hear the word? It's so funny.
Bible, it says nothing about gay people.
So being gay is specifically a sin stated in the Bible. That just proves you really, like, just don't know, actually.
Okay, again, like I said, you're not just sitting here saying things that you believe. You are calling gay people sinners. You are basically saying that gay people deserve to suffer in hell for all eternity, and that you worship the guy who will do that to them. Yes, the gays are going to be upset at you for that one, champ.
So, I know there are, like, a lot of...
All I did was say that gay people should burn in hell for eternity, and now they're all on my ass like I did something wrong.
Christians out there that don't support Trump, and that's totally fine. However, you cannot be a Christian and be left-leaning, because the things that the left supports are completely against the Bible. Also, to the person who made that video...
Wait. I'm not going to go into depth on what?
However, you cannot be a Christian and be left-leaning, because the things that the left supports are completely...
Yeah, we're not going to go into too much depth about this because of how obvious it is. I.e., if I'm forced to explain it, I will stumble so much that it'll sound bad.
Against the Bible.
Like what kind of values? Like Medicare for all? Oh yeah, Jesus was really against that one, wasn't he? I bet that Lazarus guy was very happy that he got put into medical debt for literally being resurrected. That must be a few million right there. I can't stand her voice. I don't know if it's the muffling as a result of the fursuit head. Listen.
Leviticus 18:22 sounds like it's just telling men to be better at gay sex and not treat it the same as straight sex. Get better, bro.
Thank you very much for another 5, Saga Tanuki. I appreciate you. That's funny. I don't know what it says exactly. I don't really care that much. Mary Chu is better than you? Then go watch Mary Chu. If she's not live right now, then go watch her VODs. But you're here for a reason. So if you're gonna hate watch, then please, by all means.
Also, to the person who made that video, I'm glad the person in your life does love you and supports you who you are. I do love you, and I do support the person that you are.
No, you don't. You think that person should go to hell. You don't love them.
That God made you to be.
In Germany in the whatever is gonna happen again, and Germany is warning us.
Okay, it is kind of crazy that you couldn't pinpoint when World War II took place. Like, I know I'm not one to talk, but I do know that it took place in the 1940s.
Family who loves where we are is wanting to move to Canada because we're scared that something's going to happen. To move to Canada to protect me as a trans person. If me and my family stay here, I might die. That's how serious it's getting.
Like, are you serious right now? You're not going to die, honey.
Reliable source.
You don't know that person's life. Maybe they are in danger. I don't know.
Might die.
You mean like TikTok videos that are fear-mongering that makes you feel that way?
I would say that, okay, people are having issues with like the muffling and the high-pitched nasally voice. I'm sorry. All of that is a boon to this video. Okay? All of that's going to make it better in the algorithm, not worse.
Yeah, no, that's not a reliable source.
Ways the, I love my gays, but being a Republican is like really throwing me off, buddy.
Oh my gosh, I love LGBTQ people even though I don't agree with them. What a crime. Do you know what's really throwing me off? The fact that an accepting and loving party and just gets upset the second that you have a
Democrats and the whole furry fandom ATP. Sorry, I gotta go back a little bit. What's really throwing me off? The fact that an accepting and
gets upset the second that you have a different opinion or a different belief or a different worldview. They start spreading hate and assuming these horrible...
Unlike me, the person who says that gay people sin and should burn for eternity.
Lies, believe all these horrible things when that is absolutely not true.
And with the minor
as shown in the thumbnail. Let's take a look at the thumbnail again. I don't think we looked at the thumbnail. Nazi, you're not welcome here. Blocked, you are a terrible person. Pedo, oh, somebody called her a pedo. Wow. You need to leave. You're not one of us, I assume. I do not know about the pedo allegations, but it does seem like she is a religious zealot and not a very good person.
I'm sorry.
And very defensive, too.
Your brain is not fully developed yet, so you have no right to say who's good and who's bad.
Bro, what? A minor can indeed tell whether or not something is good or not. They can differentiate those things. Even a, like, wee little baby could say...
How old is she? It's impossible to tell. 21 years old. Okay, so wait, she's 21. So what is this person saying about minors? I'm confused. I'm sorry I keep going back.
The minor thing, I'm sorry, but your brain
My audience
is
mainly minors, and a few people were upset minors were commenting. I have no control over that. That's true. I mean, you know, if you understand that most of your audience is minors, then you should be giving them, like, good information. I don't know, like, it is kind of shitty that, like, you're influencing an underage audience to believe the shitty things that you do.
Fully developed yet, so you have no right to say who's good and who's bad.
Bro, what? A minor
that was a silly point.
Tell whether or not something is good or not. They can differentiate those things. Even a, like, wee little baby could say, oh, this person is bad. They don't feed me when I'm hungry. And some babies and little kids know what's wrong and what's right.
Like I said earlier, I lost my job because of the DEI policy. Because I'm disabled.
Oh, goodness. Who's gonna tell her? So the way DEI works is that you aren't judged based on your skill, but instead they hire people who are either disabled or a different race just because basically special...
That's not how it works. There's not quotas or anything. They just want to make sure that you're not discriminating against people based upon their status as a black person or as a disabled person or anything like that. Like, it's really shitty that disabled people are losing their jobs because of discrimination, even though they do their jobs perfectly fine. Like, don't you feel bad for that person? A literal disabled person who lost their job? That's pretty shitty.
Treatment for minorities, I guess.
You have no idea
Go
what DEI is.
This person because you're on a
She's
drug
eating the mic
of some sort.
Oh my gosh. You know what they say.
The fake laughing always gets me. It's so like, if you're gonna fake laugh, get better at it.
The hate comment.
That's my fake it wasn't a very good one, but it was my fake evil laugh. Here, I can do a better one. Baka.
It just boosts the video and, you know, gets me more popularity. So you're actually doing the opposite. So I really feel like I have to mentally prepare you for this next one. So it's an old man who's like trying to gatekeep the fandom. So yeah, let's watch that.
I've been a furry for well over 30 years. I've seen a lot of the comments that you've left lately. As a long-standing member of the furry fandom,
I love his beard.
Welcome. We don't believe in forcing a child to give birth when they've been forcibly impregnated.
Okay, so let me elaborate on this attack.
What a king. He is actually spitting.
So after I stated that I was pro-life, people wanted to know, like, to what...
That old top hat villain laugh. Yeah, that was a bad one.
extent. So they were like, what if this person was... I said, well...
Did you get your laugh from One Piece? Yeah, that was NL that I was doing. Banana.
Yes, the female, she should still give birth. A person's conception does not determine how valuable they are or their worth. Absolutely no child is a burden. In my opinion, a child is a gift from God. Really need to seek help if you think that you're...
Okay, but that can be true, sure. But then we get into the semantics of, like, what constitutes a child. Like, if that person never wanted that child to be there in the first place, like that fetus, I should say, and wants to get rid of it, I just wouldn't call that a child. I don't think that that meaningfully qualifies as a child. So I don't really give a f what happens to it. Like, at least until the 24-week period where it starts to have some level of conscious thought. But until that point, until there's, like, any neurological activity... Or, and even past that point, by the way, I do believe in abortion all 9 months, because abortion is the detachment and removal of the fetus, the vacating of the womb, if you will, which should be allowed at any point, because that is, you know, it's their body and they can do what they want with it, right? So, all that aside, like, I'm sorry, if you're trying to convince me that, like, 10-year-old victims should be forced to give birth, you're just not going to get very far. Like, you go look a 10-year-old in the eye and tell them why they're forced to carry a pregnancy for 9 months, and then give birth to a whole ass person. Like, that's crazy.
Your child is not a gift and you think that they just make your life worse. Give that kid up for adoption.
This person acts like they are 13. I believe this person's autistic, so I'm not going to comment on that. But, like, I'm commenting on the substance of what she's saying.
Something.
Been supporting the Nazi party.
Many other Democrats in politics have done the exact same action. Literally look it up and it's like the exact same thing. At this point, the left is just...
What do you mean?
The wrong words, they're just...
God's gift apparently is pelvic floor muscle problems that cause you to have difficulty with bladder control for life. Nice gift there. All benevolent deity.
Yeah, thank you very much for another 5 tier 1 gifted subs. Yeah, literally, like, being pregnant forces your organs... Like, think about where your organs are situated inside of your body. And then think about how, like, this whole human... grows and distends your belly and then displaces all of those organs. All kinds of things can go wrong with that, okay? Like Saki Tanuki was saying, bladder control. You know, that can be affected for your entire life from pregnancy. And that goes doubly or even triply so for children, okay? I'm sorry, there's just no good reason you can give me, that I've heard at least. Like, if you have, like, good solid reasoning for why a 10-year-old should be forced to give birth, by all means. I'm all ears, but I haven't heard one as of yet.
Trying to find negative stuff. They're trying to create this reality that's, like, not even true. And, like, the fear-mongering and the just...
She's talking about the Elon salute? Oh, like how Democrats do the Elon salute? Yeah, because they got still images of Democrats. Meanwhile, Elon is literally doing the Sig Heil twice in a row on video. Like, it's so not ambiguous at all what he was doing.
Wanting
that combined with all of his white supremacist posting
to feed off of people's hate in order to gain support.
Where the rumor comes from Elon having autism, lawyer in Italy put up a post saying, was that the Roman salute? We are so back, baby. Twitter servers on fire. So the lawyer took down the post and said Elon was diagnosed with autism.
Ever since I was diagnosed, I've been on like the autism side of TikTok and YouTube. There has been videos saying that Elon has autism. This isn't like a new thing that's come up. I've seen this so many times that like Elon, one of the famous people who have autism, you know? So according to a very quick Google search, on SNL in 2021, Elon stated that he was on the autism spectrum. So I'm gonna be honest, I don't know much about the whole like his lawyer situation, but it sounds like he was trying to make a joke.
Autism, as you're demonstrating, is not an excuse to be a piece of shit. You're still a piece of shit. The reason that I like it doesn't like the autism thing has nothing to do with the things that you're saying or the things that Elon Musk says. There's still terrible things to say and you shouldn't be saying them, period. That's me respecting you as an autistic person. I respect you as much as I would respect anybody who's saying the things you're saying, which is frankly not much.
Which I don't really support that. I don't think joking about like something like being a Nas is like funny at all.
He to buck up and apologize for it. He didn't. He just tried to laugh it off.
I'm not Elon, so I don't know exactly why he didn't apologize, but it kind of feels like he just didn't want to give the left any sort of like satisfaction because of how wrong these claims are.
Were apartheid South African government supporting?
Why would you defend Elon Musk of all people? Like, I think this video came out before Elon Musk was officially shown to be in the Epstein files, but even then, like, Elon Musk is not a good person. Especially now that we know that he was in the Epstein files asking for the, quote, wildest party on Epstein's island.
Which supported the Nazi Party, and his grandfather was a card-carrying member of the party.
I don't know much about Elon's family history. A quick Google search told me that he wasn't very close to his father. It says his father has done some horrible things, but I don't support any of that. I will say, though, that is a good point to bring up, but that doesn't necessarily tell us much about his character today.
Not necessarily, but it is indicative. I mean, it is indicative of where he gets these ideas from, because he does espouse those same things.
Go back to you thinking that 10-year-old.
He asked about the parties because of his autism. True.
Birth. Easy to say when it's not you, your daughter, close to you. Isn't
like,
true?
I don't think I need to be great in order to have an opinion on this matter, in order to say that humans are valuable. Absolutely nothing.
FYI, it is human. It has human DNA. It is not a plant or an alien. Okay, it doesn't matter. You can call it a whole ass person if you want. A whole ass single cellular person. Sure. Now tell me why that person has the right to attach itself to another person and feed off of it like a parasite. Oh, it doesn't? Oh, okay. You're telling me that I can't do that personally? I can't go put a little bendy straw inside of somebody and start suckling upon their juices? No? Unless they agree to it? Okay? That's my point.
Less valuable. Also, birth is literally painful for every woman, and using that as an excuse saying, oh, it's too painful, they can't handle it. Everybody is different.
Not everybody wants to handle that pain. Okay? Just because they can handle it doesn't mean that it's a good idea or that they should be forced to. That's insane.
Medical care exists. There are ways to help a mother deliver in a safe way.
Due to their undeveloped bodies not being physically prepared for pregnancy and childbirth. The exact rate can vary depending on location and...
Yeah, another point, cancer cells also have human DNA and have a natural process, and yet we excise those, so, you know, just seems kind of arbitrary to me.
Healthcare.
It's better to have a child when you're younger versus when you're older.
Good old... everybody's guilty of this now. Everybody uses the AI overview, and I hate it. I hate it so much. Don't do this. Stop doing this. I hate AI so much. I passionately hate generative AI, for God's sake.
On location and access to healthcare.
It's better to have a child when you're younger versus when you're older. If you watched my last video, you saw this like whole graph, a teenager versus like an older person. The older person, it was way riskier. Also shown in the graph, it looked way more...
There are some things that are riskier as a result of having a child at an older age, but like it's not that significant. It's not significant enough to warrant this kind of like what was the point about this? Like
if you watched my last video, you saw this like whole graph, a teenager versus like an older person.
Okay, that doesn't mean that teenagers should be having children. What are you talking about? Oh, the baby will be healthier if she's born from a 15-year-old than if she's like 40. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Stop forcing people to carry pregnancies they don't want. Also, that does sound kind of weird. And because I'm a charitable person, I'm going to let it slide. But something tells me that, you know, like, it is very weird that you would say that.
The older person, it was way riskier. Also shown in the graph, it looked way more.
We're okay with teens getting pregnant? Not just okay with it. She wants to force them to be pregnant and to carry pregnancies.
Riskier be in a place with less advanced healthcare than to be in somewhere like the United States, where healthcare is like literally so amazing.
Religious beliefs.
For those who can afford it.
A living, breathing, sentient, conscious child. And
sounds silly, sped up, haha.
Put their lives at great risk.
So quirky.
Random information for you. Actually, in the medical field, they actually tried to save both the child and the mother.
Say your religion.
Yeah, and sometimes that involves an abortion procedure.
To take precedence over individual choices and individual preferences.
So, like, I'm not the one taking away that choice. The person who did the grape, they are the ones who forcibly created a child.
And there's a way to take it away, right? There is a way to stop that process, and you're saying, no, you can't stop that process. You're not allowed. Whether you like it or not, whether you think you're saving a baby or not, you are forcing somebody into a pregnancy that they do not want, okay? You're doing that. You, okay? That is what you believe. Whether you like it or not, whether it's a good thing or not, that is quite literally what you are doing. And what you're saying, and what your logic is, well, that's justified. It is justifiable for me to force somebody else into a pregnancy that they don't want because I am saving a life by doing so. I'm saving a life. I'm saving a baby's life. I'm steel manning your position as hardcore as I can right now to get across the point that, yes, you are forcing people to do things that they don't want to do because there's a way to stop the pregnancy, and you're saying, no, you can't. And if they want to do it anyway, you think those people should be in jail. So yes, you are forcing people through pregnancy, whether you like it or not.
That person
That's what you're doing,
has to
literally.
Take accountability for what they did. Abortion has been used many times to cover up rape.
It reminds me of my Matt Walsh thing where I confronted him and he's like, you know what we should do though is kill the rapist. It's like, that's not what I asked, man. There's nothing. I know that you're a very bloodthirsty person, but that has nothing to do with, I'm not saying she said to kill the rapist. She just said accountability, but it did remind me of that.
In case you didn't know, there has been people who went undercover and found out this information.
Do us all a fucking favor.
Wait, what was that point?
Many times to cover up rape. In case you didn't know, there has been people who went undercover.
Oh, so that's why we force people like grape victims through pregnancy. Now you got me saying grape victims through pregnancy.
Found out this information.
Do us all a fucking favor. Get the fuck out of the fandom.
True.
We don't want you here.
Okay, so I'm sorry that
Torture,
was
I hardly know her. That's crazy you would say that.
Speak some facts for a second. Towards the end, he kept dancing around the same exact point, so I wasn't about to repeat myself so many times. A little bit more in depth in my other video. If you want to watch it, I'll put it up in the cards. Legit, so many people were like, "Get out!" And I'm like, "No."
Mom's sleeping in the other room. We have to be quiet.
I have freedom of speech. Haha. Who's the one looking like a commie?
Or is this a college dorm? Maybe it's a college dorm. We can't wake the roommate up.
Now.
Let's talk about the Twinkling Aurora conservative pro-lifer furry situation. Really active on this app. She posts at least once a day from what I've noticed. And just a couple days ago, she came out as a Catholic.
So actually, me being Catholic, that was in my bio for the past 2 years. I didn't come out as a Catholic. Whatever that.
Can you give me a quick overbrief of what you just said? That pregnancy sounded crazy. What, that she's forcing people through pregnancy by virtue of her being anti-abortion? That was the gist of what I was saying.
That means.
And she had the audacity to come out as a conservative and a pro-lifer.
Aren't abortions safer than pregnancy? I think statistically that is true, yes.
I had the audacity to use my freedom of speech. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy.
Yes, and other people also had the audacity to use their freedom of speech to call you an insane person.
Obviously, the furry fandom isn't going to be very supportive of that.
Yes, and I never expected them to be.
A lot of people have been calling her out, being like, oh, that's a very bad thing to support, you probably shouldn't do that. And then she has the audacity to wonder why people don't like her.
Yes, because normal people don't judge people based on their religious or political beliefs.
What are you talking? I hate this so much. It's like, no, if you think about it, I'm actually allowed to believe whatever I want to believe, and you're not allowed to judge me for it. Normal people would never judge me for believing that there's this guy with a beard in the sky who created us all in a perfect image, but also inflicted suffering such that 2-year-olds get cancer and that 10-year-olds get and will have to carry pregnancies to term because he says that you're actually not, and it's part of his divine plan, by the way. All of that was part of God's divine plan. And if you get an abortion, he will send you to hell. But also, he loves you and he wants you to be well. And in fact, he loves you more than anybody could ever love anything, if you think about it. But I'm not the crazy one, and also you need to abide by my beliefs and you know, tell me that I'm a very good girl for saying all these things. And if you don't, I am going to, you know, personally call you out and say you're stupid and say you're a big dum-dum.
It's literally a professional thing in jobs when they're hiring that they do not judge people based on that sort of
stuff. They literally made fun of leftists this entire video, by the way.
Stuff. And yeah, if you don't like me, just block. It's not that hard.
Literally, like, the biggest judge of other people's beliefs saying, like, you're not allowed to judge my beliefs. Like, at the beginning of this video, she said, you can't be a Catholic and a leftist. That's insane.
Guys, there's tutorials on YouTube if you need help.
Pick a struggle, conservative or furry. They're actively avoid discussing the conversation or topic.
True.
You should say that, because not only does she keep claiming that she's going to make a
Pick
video
a struggle.
addressing all this on her YouTube and TikTok, but with the second video she made about how great her God is today.
I don't know why people were so upset that I was taking like a while to post like the apology video, which wasn't really apology, by the way. Like, it's not my fault I have ADHD and I decide to put a lot of effort into my videos and research. That takes a lot of time and energy, and ADHD does not like that.
She is responding to comments by being like, you need to calm
My
down.
ADHD
actively
queen.
Quoting the Taylor Swift song and using Taylor Swift music as
So
the background music
relatable.
as well, which is not appropriate at all for this topic.
It was actually so funny though, because
Tell that religious freedom BS to Mom Donnie. Thank you very much for 10 more biddies, by the way. But I don't understand what you mean.
I was just watching these chronically online furries just like be all dramatic about, oh my gosh, someone has a different opinion? Like, you do need to calm down, honey.
So not only is she admitting to...
I gotta say that I got blocked more by leftist streamers on Twitch than right streamers, although I'm more of a leftist than right. Well, right-wingers, like, they want to be part of the conversation all the time. They want liberals around. Like, liberals can't survive, or sorry, conservatives can't survive without, like, liberals and leftists around. They need something to lash out against. So they're going to be less likely to block you or, you know, keep you away because they want to shit on you. Leftists, on the other hand, are trying to create spaces that are safe for people. So, you know, some people are trying to create safe spaces and, you know, make the world a better place. And they actually have real goals and aspirations for this planet to be a nice place to live. So, like, you know, they get understandably pissed and upset and then block people. You know, and I don't always agree with what their strategy is, but, you know, I get it.
Being anti-abortion, but she is also completely avoiding the subject altogether and refusing to acknowledge the hate that she is receiving for this said thing, which makes her a problematic person.
Yes, my ADHD is problematic. That's my life. Joke's on you, I did post a video.
Oh my God.
I'm posting another one.
She's like, oh my God, you're being ableist right now. Shut the f up.
Which is this video.
Literally pick a struggle.
Now, I'm not condoning any harassment or bullying towards her. That's just not something that I stand for, especially online. But if you're following Twinkling Aurora, I highly suggest that you stop following her. And if you want to call her out in her comments, she seems to be responding to most of them, albeit in a bad way, but still, you can respectfully show that you don't support what she's believing in or what she's choosing to support while still being, you know, decent about it. But once again,
well, I'm
Agreed.
actually surprised someone decided to be somewhat respectful.
and Aurora, if you're watching this, I have been in your comment section. I've seen the replies you've been giving people. It's not giving. It's really not. And it's the fact that you're so actively supporting this
It's
that
not
makes you
giving.
problematic. Like, you're not receiving hate for being a Christian. You're receiving hate because you support the rape of children.
He was saying nobody should be persecuted for their beliefs because it's America, but Mom Donnie got shit on. Oh, gotcha. Okay. I see what you're saying now. Yeah, no, Mom Donnie is getting shit on regularly. People are literally saying, like, that's the city where 9/11 happened, and there's a Muslim mayor there now. Oh my God. Oh my God. And it's like, shut the fuck up. It's America. You can worship whoever you want. You can have whatever religion you want.
Now, show me proof where I said that. You can't find it? Right, that's because I literally never said.
To be as charitable as possible, I don't think that you support that, but you do force them through pregnancies they don't want and did not ask for. That is part of your belief set. Literally part of your belief set. Okay? Whether you like it or not, whether you think it is or not, that is something that you believe in, something that you will have to contend with. And you think it's justified. You think you are saving a baby's life. If I thought I was saving a baby's life, I might also say, yeah, we should force somebody through a pregnancy. That might be a consideration that I make. Okay? But I don't see it as a baby. I see it as a fetus. Okay? A fetus that attached itself to somebody else's body. All right? Whether it did so willingly or not, somebody else's body is now at stake. And frankly, I don't think that even for saving a baby, I would force somebody to give up their bodily autonomy. I just don't know that I could make that decision for that person. That is entirely up to them. Entirely, you know? It's not for me to decide.
That
And other similar topics.
I am pro-life, I am not pro-grape.
Gotta work on the mic game.
Maybe if they listen to someone instead of just attacking, then maybe they would learn to understand. They don't necessarily have to agree, but understanding, really rare thing to find. So I hope you guys enjoyed this
Why is
silly
that
little
better?
video. So as you can see, some people just really like throwing out insults instead of having a real conversation or...
I can't stress this enough. Stand 10 toes down on your beliefs and show your face if you're going to support this shit. Yeah, like furries, like if you see this online, you know, like she does, like this is part of her identity is this persona. I'm not going to harp on it, but yeah, I do think there is a piece of cowardliness to it for sure.
a real debate. People simply can't handle others having a different opinion than them. So the second somebody goes against what's considered the norm.
When the opinions are literally like the most abhorrent shit you've ever heard in your life, yeah, you're right. People aren't going to abide by that. And they're correct not to.
Which in the furry fandom.
I'm just giving my special little opinions. You don't understand. My special little opinions that children should be forced to give birth.
The left is kind of the norm. They decide to make hateful videos, of which some of them ended up like, it felt like they were trying to create drama. Even some popular furry creators made what can be considered hate videos about me. I'm gonna show them some screenshots here.
My reaction when I saw the forced birth furry on my timelines and she followed me, that's funny. Twinkling Aurora.
I don't mean to like name drop, but
that's what got your panties in a bunch? I'm sorry, that is like some of the most mundane shit.
These videos were literally public, and I think it's so immature to just spread hate because of somebody else's religious or political beliefs. Also, I'm sorry if it seems like I'm trying to like drag this like...
You literally just said at the beginning of this video that you cannot be a leftist and a Christian. Those are words that came out of your mouth. You said that they're oxymoronic.
Whole thing on.
You're judging people based on their political beliefs.
So
you
this,
are.
Took a while to come out. For those of you that don't support me sharing my beliefs online, if nobody stands up for Christianity,
you should reassess all of your priors.
Then
and
who
then
will
come online
and
and see what you
them
think.
To Christ and who will help them find joy. In the end, my goal and Jesus' goal is not to judge or to spread hate, but instead to try to heal. So if you enjoyed this video...
Do you think that she'd be open to a conversation? Probably not, right? 17K subscribers, she'd probably respond to me. I just want to talk. I'll shoot her a message real quick after I finish up the segment. Opinions are, I like strawberry more than chocolate, not I don't think trans people deserve human rights. Exactly. Like, I'm sorry, if your entire worldview is dog shit, and somebody tells you it's dog shit, that's not them shitting on you just for shitting on you. It's because your opinions are dog shit. Like they're right. You have the right to say the things that you do, sure. I support your right to do that. But I also have the right to call you a moron and say that you're in favor of forced child pregnancy. Because you are. You are in favor of forcing children through pregnancies that they do not want. Because children are violated all the time. They get pregnant sometimes. And then there is a way to end those pregnancies. And you're saying, no, we're not allowed to do that. Not even in the earliest stages. That's fucked up. And I disagree with you. And I find that belief abhorrent. And I will reach out to you and see if you want to discuss this more. Hi, thanks so much for watching and making it to the end of the video. I just wanted to let you all know that I love and appreciate everybody in my community, whether you can support me financially or just by liking, commenting, and sharing my videos. It helps way more than you know. That being said, I do want to give a very special thanks to my tier 4 subs, which would be Space Timid and Hot Take Andy. And thanks so much to my monetary subscribers from any of the tiered subs or anybody who gives me money in any form, including going to my Patreon shop, donating money to me directly. It all helps way more than you know. If you do decide to help me financially, you can get some really cool perks like early access to content, exclusive access to censored videos, also some really cool badges next to your name. Even if you can't afford a monetary subscription, just watching, sharing, and commenting on my content helps way more than you know. Thanks again, and I will see you all in the next video.